Hello, a very good afternoon and welcome to Inside the Paddock on Saturday of the Motul TT Assen. We're here at the TT Circuit Assen for round 11 of the MotoGP World Championship, and I am delighted to say that we're under, was sunny skies. Now a little bit cloudy, but nevertheless much better than the rain that we had to contend with yesterday. We started there by focusing on this man, Maverick Viñales, because this time 12 months ago he was on pole position thanks to a fastest ever lap of the TT Circuit Assen, and although free practice 3 didn't go all his way in the end, coming out 7th, he did show excellent pace, and it comes a week on from arguably, and according to Paolo Bonoro of the Aprilia Racing Squad, his best ever performance on an RSGP. So no better time to catch up with his crew chief, Giovanni Mattarolo. We'll head through and chat with Gio then. It was, as has been customary, a good day for Aprilia, full stop, because Aleix Espargaro, despite a late crash, a fairly gentle off as well, did end up fastest in free practice 3, which sets the combined standings because of the wet weather we had yesterday. Just before we speak with Gio, it was Fabio Quartararo in second with Alex Rins in third. A great performance from him despite suffering from a wrist. Gio, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Good to see you. A big weekend for Maverick. Before we talk about that, how impressed were you last time out in Germany? Paolo, I spoke with him yesterday. Best ever performance on an Aprilia, he said. I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. Maverick did a very good weekend, not only the Sunday, but all the weekend works good with the team. But it's all the season that we are working a lot with him to riding style, to how adjust the bike for him. Consider that from where he comes is a completely different bike. This means that takes time to adjust his riding style and our bike for him.
And I guess the most pleasing thing from that race was his one lap pace was there, but also at the start of the race, those first 4-5 laps, which we know Maverick has struggled with in the past, he was super aggressive, made up places, so you must have been watching on with a big smile.
Yeah, we work hard on this aspect because we know that with him the pace, especially on the second part of the race, is always really good. But if you lose a lot of time in the first part of the race, you can be the faster then, but you are too far. And we worked hard with him on the riding style, on how adjust the bike for the first part of the race especially. And we start to see the result just before Sachsenring, but in Sachsenring was clear.
Of course, a great shame. An issue with the ride height device meant that he couldn't see the checkered flag and couldn't fight it out with Aleix for a podium finish. Just talk us through that change in riding style, the change to the bike. How do you get a rider to find that aggression or to be comfortable to be aggressive in those opening laps?
It's very important for us to have two good riders, because you can compare the data for sure to our rider how the other one is working to be faster. And also for Aleix is important this, because we saw that in some parts Maverick is faster and in other parts Aleix is faster. But this permit to us to show to the rider how he can be faster with the bike. Consider that he ride in a way for 7 years, but these bikes some things can accept, but others need to be different. And on this is important to have Aleix. It's important to have a lot of data with our bike, and it's important to speak a lot with the rider, because he explained to us why he does some movements, some skills on the bike, and he explained to him why this is not paying or yes for the lap time.
And looking at this weekend, we were just saying before we came to speak to you, this time last year, pole position, fastest ever lap. He won here in 2019. He loves the Assen circuit.
Yeah.
So how is he feeling ahead of qualifying?
His feeling is good, and we think that he can do a good qualify. I don't want to say we can fight for first row, second row. We know that it's important to stay in the first row for the first part of the race. And for the qualify, I think that he can do it. His feeling is good with the bike, his feeling is good with the circuit. We know that every time he comes here he's fast, and we see also today and yesterday.
Obviously the weather yesterday wasn't ideal. It looks as though with the sun shining now that it's going to be dry today and tomorrow. Is Potentially. Have you seen a different forecast? Are we going to get rain tomorrow?
I'm checking the forecast every 5 minutes, I think, especially for today. I work 1 day per 1 day. And theoretically, we could be lucky for today. For tomorrow, we will see. For me, it doesn't rain, but we will see.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't rain. I've been promised by some of the Dutch journalists here it's not going to rain. Okay. They're confident. Saturday and Sunday will be dry. Yeah. If it is dry, is it a good thing that yesterday was a bit of a write-off for Maverick because he knows the circuit so well, or a bad thing because that would have been valuable data for him here on the Aprilia for the first time? How does it work? Do you think you've benefited or maybe lost out there?
Looking how we finish FP3, I think it benefits. We decide to go with a medium on the first dry session that was yesterday in FP2 for give the rider the time to take the confidence with the bike before have a drop of the tire. This was the idea for use the medium, and we decided to use the soft today for understand also the soft before start to do some time attacks.
Maverick is just here watching. Gio's just telling us how you're going to qualify on pole position later and then win the race by 10 seconds tomorrow.
No pressure. No, realistic. We are working well. We are doing a lot of steps every time we go on the track. It doesn't matter if the name is Assen or other names. Every time we are more competitive, we understand better. Also, I can tell better the feelings to the team that they can help me much more. So overall, it's very positive. We are trying to achieve the level we think we can achieve. So. Let's go.
You love this place, though. I mean, I think every rider on the grid loves it. Why is Assen such a popular circuit with riders?
It's very fast. I think the riders will like fast corners. And Assen, most of the corners are very fast. But however, is the Cathedral, so it's very special. I like because it's very good for my riding style. But this year with the Aprilia, I can see myself very strong in places where before I wasn't able to be competitive. So very happy and especially, very motivated to arrive to the places where I want to be very, very strong.
Maverick, thank you very much for speaking to us. Gio, thank you for speaking to us as well. Wish the pair of you the best of luck for qualifying later. Make sure you check out the number 12 as he scoots off. Hopefully his RSGP gets started a little bit better than his scooter there, struggling to get it going. Let's head back out into the paddock here then and see if there are any other riders or team managers or anyone that we can find. Enjoyable chat there with Giovanni. He's a great guy. I remember speaking to him at Aragon last year, his first round with Maverick. They were put together because he was formerly of the test team. You might remember that Maverick, before having his debut with Aprilia in the Grand Prix paddock, had a test at Misano. They worked together well there, so they decided to pair them, and they've had a very strong relationship since. And Gio is actually a nice guy as well, speaks really well, gives you a great understanding, a great sort of image of how difficult it is and how time consuming it is to get a rider comfortable on a bike, because it was a big change for Maverick, has been well documented, moving across from the inline 4 to the V4 for the very first time, but it does feel as though that flick has been switched and he is able to be competitive now. And although Maverick and Giovanni won't admit it, neither did Paolo Bonora yesterday as well, they have circled this weekend. Assen at the start of the season was a circuit that they thought, if we're going to be competitive anywhere on the calendar, that's where we're going to do it. So I'm sure that he's feeling a little bit of pressure this weekend to try and make sure that he at last can repay the faith that was put in him by the Aprilia Racing squad last year. As Joel Kelso zooms past, all good mate, and in fact we've got Dennis Onchu here as well. Dennis, sorry, you're on FaceTime, sorry. Oh, no, you're not.
No, okay.
How are you, mate? All good?
Yeah, all fine. Preparing for the quali, Yeah.
I spoke with your manager earlier. It was good to see Keenan here. He's very smartly dressed. Do you give him the style tips?
Well, I hope one day I can also wear like this, And I don't care. First is my quality to do today and tomorrow the race. And the future I check in the future.
He said Moto2 is maybe an option, but I think that the biggest thing I took away, as I said, is what a stylish man. Fantastic. I mean, we've seen Toprak as well. Has some great style with the shoes. I mean, talk us through a normal outfit for you on a Saturday night. What are we looking at?
I don't know. Okay. For Moto2, I really want to pass next year because of my size. But anyway, for the stylish, I just try to wear more or less okay things, you know. And I think the persons also like how I wear, so it's okay.
I think you look good, mate. You look good.
Like you.
Yeah,
look
thank
better
you.
than
I mean, this is my uniform, so...
Every day you look more younger.
I know. Thank you. He's such a flirt, is Dennis. What do you say? Every day I look younger. I mean, I'd hope so. I'm only 26, so I hope I'm not aging too much. Maybe it's the beards that makes me look a little bit homeless and a little bit older. As Luca Brivio zooms past, I reckon we might be able to steal one more rider here, because they are flying past at a rate of knots. As you can see, I'm just scanning from left to right to see if there's anyone we can speak to. Let's see, there is Ucho up there. I reckon if we walk in this direction we might be able to find someone, hopefully. Anyway, before then, let's bring you up to speed of what you can expect later on this afternoon. MotoGP qualifying, of course, as we said, Aleix Espargaro, the form man, going into that, having top 3 practice 3 earlier. His brother, however, unfortunate news that Paul Espargaro won't be on the grid for tomorrow's Dutch TT. A big crash at the Saxon Ring, and he actually, yesterday when he spoke to the media, he's struggling to speak. Although they haven't diagnosed it yet, he's having real issue with his ribs. And the pain, although manageable for the German Grand Prix on last Sunday, at the moment is just far too much for him to cope with. So he has pulled out. We won't see the 44, unfortunately, until after the summer break. Is there anyone zooming past then? Hello, sir. How are you? All good?
Yeah, very good, yes.
Enjoying your time here at Assen?
Yes, very nice, of course. Yes.
I can see you're a long-time fan of MotoGP with
Yes,
the classic Valentino hat on.
500 MotoGP, 500cc, 2 strokes, only 2 strokes. That's what I love.
Doesn't everyone? Those are the proper bikes, aren't they? The 500 2 strokes.
Yes, very nice. Yes. Viñales, yeah, Yamahas, very nice.
Quick question: who's going to win tomorrow?
Fabio, I think. Yes.
Okay, good prediction. Anyway, enjoy your afternoon. Enjoy your afternoon. Nice to speak with some of the fans here, because we are expecting 100,000 people packed into the grandstands tomorrow afternoon for the Dutch TT. It is one of the blue ribbon events of the MotoGP calendar. Everybody wants to be stood on the top step of the podium at the Cathedral of Speed, and we'll find out who that will be tomorrow afternoon. Before that, though, make sure you tune in for MotoGP qualifying with that man, Fabio Quartararo, arguably the favourite. He was on pole position back in 2019, was he? Maybe he was, I can't remember now, but his teammate was on pole last time. He, of course, won the race last time, I know that for sure, and he'll be the big favourite going into it tomorrow. The World Championship leader. Can anyone cut that points gap? Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you after the summer break now. It's time for the holidays. I can smell the pina colada on the beach already. We'll see you on Friday at Silverstone. Thank you. Bye.